Hello dear friends. On and off, one has been making few clippings on preparation for SSB, what all can help you in clearing SSB. In this series, I have made at least 2 clippings on interview technique, what all on how you can prepare for your interview, what all can help you in doing better in interview. Next, I have made 3 different clippings on preparation for group discussion. Also, I have made 3 to 4 clippings on how to go about working on your personality to clear SSB. Because what is SSB looking at? SSB is looking at your personality. And if we don't work on our personality, अगर हम अपनी personality पे काम नहीं करेंगे, उसमें improvement नहीं लाएंगे, तो दिक्कत आएगी. Now today, I'll be giving a talk on how to use your PIQ form to your benefit. मैं बीच बीच में हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों में बात करूँगा ताकि सभी स्टूडेंट्स को जो मैं कहना चाहता हूँ वो समझ आ जाए. सो PIQ फॉर्म का आप इस्तेमाल अपने फ़ायदे के लिए कैसे कर सकते हैं? PIQ फॉर्म, हाउ टू फिल द PIQ फॉर्म या PIQ फॉर्म को कैसे भरना है, वो तो बहुत जगह आपको मिल जाएगा कि नाम के आगे नाम लिखना है, एड्रेस के आगे एड्रेस लिखना है, फादर के नाम के आगे फादर का नाम लिखना है, मार्क्स के आगे मार्क्स लिखना है. बट इसका आप फ़ायदा क्या उठा सकते हैं? इससे पहले कि मैं आपको ये बताऊं कि इसका फ़ायदा क्या उठा सकते हैं, सर्टन बेसिक डूज एंड डोंट्स कि आपको क्या उसमें करना चाहिए और व्हाट यू शुड डू एंड व्हाट यू शुड नॉट डू while filling the PIQ form. Number 1, your handwriting should be good. Number 2, there should be no cuttings and overwritings. Number 3, जब आप नाम लिखते हैं अपने पेरेंट का, फादर का, मदर का, तो give the correct title like Mr., Mrs. In case your father is working in army or is working in police, army, navy or air force, give the rank. Write the rank prior to writing the name. That is the title. That's important. Next, आप जब अपना एड्रेस लिखते हैं तो एड्रेस पूरा लिखना है. अब PIQ फॉर्म में 3 प्रकार के एड्रेस हैं. 3 types of addresses you are supposed to write. Number 1, the place of your maximum residence. Number 2, the place of your temporary residence. And number 3, the place of your maximum residence. Now you should also be aware of the basic population of these areas. Now what is the difference between all these 3? Now place of maximum residence is, for example, you belong to Solan in Himachal Pradesh and you have come down to Chandigarh and done your schooling right from your first class till 12th class in Chandigarh. So now what happens? Though you belong, your permanent address is Solan in Himachal Pradesh, but your place of maximum residence till your 12th class becomes Chandigarh. Now you have gone for your graduation, you have got selected for some engineering college and you are studying there in Delhi. Now that becomes your temporary address. Now this is how you are supposed to write down the detailed addresses of all the 3 places, as I have given you the example of Solan, Chandigarh and Delhi. Now while writing down the address, give the full detailed address. I am repeating again. It is important that you give your full detailed address along with PIN code. Now after this, you have to give the details about your parents, education and yearly income. Of course, your caste, your religion, these are the various other columns. And then comes your details of schooling. That includes your marks, the name of the school, your marks, the year, place, all these details have to be filled right from your 10th class, your 12th class and your graduation, including any achievements that you have got in any one of these schools or classes or any appointments held that you can mention. After this comes is the details about your NCC. Now, whether you have been in NCC, which wing you have been, which year, how many years you have done, what certificates have you got, like that. Besides this, you have to also fill in your height and weight. So you should remember your height and weight. So before you go to SSB, please measure this and remember it. After this comes a very, very important section. That is your games, your sports, hobbies, participation in extracurricular activities. All these details you have to fill in. What all games you have been playing, what all extracurricular activities you have been participating in, what are your hobbies. And after this comes which arm you want to join, how many chances have you got for a particular entry, and in the end you have to mention, in case you have been to SSB earlier, all the details of it. Now, if you look at it in an overall perspective, it appears to be a very simple thing. But now, how to use this to your benefit? Now, if you want to benefit from this, now how you will benefit? Provided you have been doing something. Provided you have been an achiever. Achiever in what? Either in education or in sports. Now, if you are getting good marks or good percentage in education and not in sports and extracurricular activities, you are not doing much, it's okay. But if you are doing in both, it helps you. So it is important that you inculcate a habit of playing or learn playing some games, at least 2 to 3 games, group games, outdoor games. You take some interest in some hobbies, good hobbies. Now, hobbies is something that you like to do individually to pass your free time. Whenever you're playing something with your friends, your colleagues, your brothers, sisters, you're playing something with them. It is a game. Now, that game can be indoor and outdoor. Lay more stress on outdoor games. Now, a copy of this form is given to psychologist and interviewing officer. Now, by seeing this, they visualize your personality of how. Number one, you're coming from which state? Because now you will find that students or people from different states have different personalities. Like a person coming from Haryana, a Bengali, from Tamil Nadu, from Maharashtra. There are some personality traits specific to the particular state. No. After looking at you're coming from which state, next comes is, he will also look, both of these psychologists and they also look into what kind of school have you studied. Have you studied in a government school? You have studied in a good, like a school like Delhi Public School or some very good public school. You have studied in a Hindi medium school, you have studied in English medium school, you have done your education from UP board, Rajasthan board, Bihar board, or you have done your education from CBSE board. Now, all these things give matter. How? Now, for example, if I have to be an interviewing officer and if I see a boy who is coming from a remote village, now he is writing and speaking in English as good as someone coming from a good public school in Delhi. Naturally, I will give more credit to that boy who is coming from a village. So don't think कि भाई हम गांव से आ रहे हैं, हमारी अंग्रेजी कमज़ोर है. अगर कमज़ोर भी है, चलेगा. चलेगा नहीं, दौड़ेगा. So you don't have to feel bad about it or get discouraged about it. Now, recently we had a boy who was very weak in speaking in English. His interview has also been taken. And a clipping of that we have put on YouTube. You must watch that. For all those जो ये सोचते हैं कि हमारी इंग्लिश कमज़ोर है, हम बोल नहीं पाएंगे और हम सिलेक्शन कैसे होगा हमारा. आप वो क्लिपिंग देखिए यूट्यूब में तो आपको रियलाइज़ होगा कि इंग्लिश बहुत अच्छा होना ज़रूरी नहीं है, बट अच्छी लैंग्वेज स्किल्स होना ज़रूरी है. सो नाउ आफ्टर लुकिंग एट फ्रॉम विच बैकग्राउंड you are coming. For example, if your parents have got good income and education, that shows that they have more resources to give it to you for your personal development. They can send you to a good school. A person coming from a poorer background whose parental income is less, they cannot be sent to a good school. That is a handicap. They cannot spend that much money. Now, same goes with a big city, a big town and a small town. A place like Delhi, Chandigarh, they have got more institutes, better schooling than a remote area in Bihar or UP. Now, if a boy coming from Bihar, UP or some remote area of a country is doing better, performing better or equal to a person coming from Delhi, naturally, that means the effort, the motivation level, the passion of that boy is much more than this. Because of getting all the facilities and still this boy is not able to come up to a desired level or do better than the boys who are coming from remote areas, that shows his passion and his motivation level is less. Now, besides this, if you are playing some outdoor games, having extracurricular activities, outdoor group games like football, cricket, hockey, basketball, volleyball, now you must pick up at least 2 to 3 games that you like to play or that you can play. It is not necessary that you have to be a school champion or you have to be participated in a district team or played a national tournament or a district tournament. No. Learn playing these games. It would help you. Next is hobbies. Now, most of the students that I have interacted with are not even aware of what your hobbies are. When you ask them what your hobbies is, sir, playing cricket. So playing cricket is not a hobby. Your stamp collection, coin collection, reading, writing a diary, writing a journal, drawing, sketching, painting, photography, gardening, cooking, stitching, playing some musical instruments, collecting feathers of birds, collecting different color stones. Now these are the various kinds of hobbies. Now regarding extracurricular activities, howsoever small an activity that you have been doing, please mention it. Now, like I mentioned in my PIQ form when I had been to SSB, that I had a hobby of collecting these matchbox photographs. So जब मेरे से पूछा कितने माचिस की डब्बी की फोटो इकट्ठी की है, मैंने बोला 450. No, certain people will say ये तो कचरा है यार, ये क्या तुम इकट्ठा कर रहे हो? But this is my hobby. I was doing stamp collection, I was doing coin collection, I was doing watercolor paintings. So if you have these hobbies, if you play certain games, even if you have not achieved much in these, do mention it. Besides that, try to improve your knowledge over these. Because the more activities you are participating in, more outgoing you are, that shows your high level of motivation. Your desire to improve, your desire to learn something. And that's what we are trying to look into. That how much trainable is this student? Can he be trained in that given time period and converted into an officer? Now this is how your assessors use the PIQ form for visualizing your personality. Number 1, you're coming from which place. Number 2, your town and city. Number 3, your participation in games, hobbies and various other activities, any social activities, extracurricular activities. You're participating in your school cultural function, annual day function, or any programs being run through NGOs. You're participating in that, like blood donation camp, like tree plantation, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, any of such things or activities that you have participated, you must mention it. Then comes your percentage of marks that you have been scoring in 10th, 12th and graduation. Now in this, what matters is that even if you are stable, your performance is stable, the marks that you are getting is stable. Like you have got 75% marks in your 10th, you've got 72 in 12th and you are averaging around above 70 in your graduation. That means you are steady, it's okay. But if your percentage is going down, like in 10th you have got 90, in 12th you have got 70, in your graduation you have got 65, that's not considered good. Now if your performance is going up, that is your performance graph is going up, it is better. You will be rated better. Now, since the copy of this is given to interviewing officer and psychologist, all this data when they go through it, they visualize what kind of a person you would be. Either the psychologist will see through this and match it with the performance that you have done in psychological testing. And interviewing officer will plan his interview accordingly. He will be asking you much more detailed question based on what all you have achieved, what all you have done, from where all you are coming. Now earlier, as I had mentioned that you have to, regarding the addresses, detail of addresses. Now if you have got 3 addresses, then you should know the detailed history, cultural background, economy, all the details of those 3 cities and towns. Because there is very bright chances that the interviewing officer may ask you questions on these towns and cities. Suppose if you belong to Solan, so he will ask you, your permanent address is Solan, so you should know the population, then you should know the cultural background, the economy of that place, historical background. Now all these details should be known to you. Now suppose there are 3 cities that you have been to, all 3 addresses are different, like your present address, your place of maximum residence and permanent address, all 3 are different. So you may have to work slightly harder. आपको थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी इन तीनों शहरों के बारे में डिटेल जानकारी आपको क्वेश्चन पूछे जा सकते हैं. Then you should know at least 3 good and 3 bad points of these 3 cities. Now in case you have got only one that is permanent and all others are common, a place of maximum residence is same as your permanent address and temporary address. So write do, and you don't have to repeat the whole thing all over again. And you should know the details of the city or the place of only one city. अभी मैंने आपको पूरा डिटेल बताया है कि PIQ फॉर्म में क्या क्या एंट्रीज होती हैं और साइकोलॉजिस्ट और इंटरव्यूइंग ऑफिसर उसका कैसे फ़ायदा उठाते हैं. नो, अगर in case you yourself are not playing any games, not having or having any hobbies, just doing about average in your studies, then what will happen? Your studies, you are just average, just passing with 65-70% marks. And in your games, डब्बा खाली है. In hobbies, डब्बा खाली है. तो वो बजेगा नहीं. Now, if you have been playing games, if you've got hobbies, that shows that you are a person who is active and will learn new things, have interest in learning new things. This gives out a lot about your personality. Like a place you're coming from, Haryana, the way a person speaks, his language is different. The style of speaking, the style of walking, everything is different from the person who is coming from either Bengal or Tamil Nadu. So similarly, if you are playing games, if you are playing or having hobbies, it is going to help you. Number 1. Number 2, if you are participating in extracurricular activities, it will help you. If you are doing well in your studies, it will help you. Now, if you are doing well in studies as well as you are playing games and you are having hobbies, it will help you even more. After doing all this, you have also participated or taken NCC. Now, a lot of students, they ask a question like, does NCC, taking NCC helps you to get additional marks? No. But in case you have taken that NCC, that shows you are an outgoing person. You like adventure activities. Now, if you want to or interested in joining army and you are having NCC also, that gives out a better or puts up a better impression on interviewing officer and psychologist. Naturally, there will be a student who has not taken NCC and has scored 80% marks, and there is another student who has taken NCC and also got 80% marks. Naturally, the impression of the boy or a student who has taken 80% marks and having NCC will be slightly more. So, all these things would help you in coming in a merit. This is a shortcut for coming in the merit. If you have a good impression on anybody, naturally, it is but natural that he would give you some additional marks. Though these marks are not listed or tabulated that if you have done this, you should get these many marks or you have achieved this. No, it's not that. Basically, your marks are given based on your personality, or that is the qualities that you have shown out there. But with good impression, there is a tendency of giving certain additionals. Fine, if somebody is more motivated, somebody is more passionate, somebody is taking more initiative. So that means that person who has taken NCC and scored good marks in NDA has taken more initiative. So as such, he would get more marks on initiative and he'll move ahead. So this is a shortcut. If you're preparing for NDA, you're preparing for defense in your graduation, keep this thing in mind. Do play games, do have hobbies, participate in extracurricular activities. Wherever possible, if you can get into NCC, do it. If you can participate through scouts and guides, do it. All these things are going to help you in putting up a better impression. And by getting a better impression on others, you will get better marks, and that would help you to come in a merit. Sometimes it does happen that a boy has NCC, scored 80% marks, and the boy scored 80% marks but did not have NCC. Both have cleared. So the one will come in merit, the other will not, just because of the difference of few marks. So now if you have time and you are preparing over a long period of time, you have planned it properly, include these things. Thank you. Hope this talk would help you in your preparation for SSB and filling up your PIQ forms and using it for your benefit.